Clara Evans, a single mother, once had it all: a cozy home, a steady job, and a small, happy family. But everything fell apart when her husband, Matt Harper, tricked her into signing over all their assets. In a flash, Matt disappeared, taking everything with him and leaving Clara and their two young daughters, Mia and Ella, with nothing. Now, Clara works at a small diner to make ends meet. Each day feels like a battle as she struggles to put food on the table and keep her daughters warm. That evening, after finishing her shift, Clara sat outside the diner with Mia and Ella. The three of them shared the only sandwich she could afford, trying to keep the mood light despite the chilly night air. Just then, a sleek car pulled up nearby. A man stepped out and called her name. It was Andrew Carter, an old friend from high school. Andrew, once a shy and reserved classmate, now stood confidently in front of her, dressed in a sharp suit. He couldn't believe his eyes as he saw Clara in this state. "Clara, is that really you?" Andrew asked, his voice filled with shock and concern. Clara turned away, embarrassed but unable to hide her shame. "Hi, Andrew." "Yes, it's me." Andrew's gaze softened with empathy. He didn't need any further explanation to see that Clara and her daughters were in desperate need of help. But would Clara be willing to accept the support of her old friend? Andrew looked at Clara with deep concern in his eyes. He couldn't forget the girl he had admired back in high school. But now that image was replaced by one of exhaustion and weariness etched across her face. He knew he couldn't just walk away. "Clara, what happened? You can't stay out here like this," Andrew said, his voice full of care. Clara lowered her head, her voice trembling with a mix of shame and despair. "Everything? It all just fell apart, Andrew. I don't want to drag you into my mess. You've done so well for yourself. I can't be a burden." Andrew immediately interrupted. "You're not a burden. Please, let me help." Clara shook her head, overwhelmed by a mix of shame and fear. She was used to relying on no one but herself. But Andrew was persistent. He offered to take Clara and her daughters to his home, at least for the night, so they could have a safe place to stay. "My house has plenty of space. You and the girls can stay there until things settle down," he said earnestly. Clara hesitated, her mind racing with conflicting thoughts. Accepting Andrew's help felt like admitting defeat, something she had always fought against. But as she glanced at Mia and Ella, their tiny bodies trembling under threadbare jackets, the protective mother in her outweighed her pride. "All right, but just temporarily," Clara replied, her voice soft but laced with determination. Andrew gave her a reassuring smile. "Don't worry. You don't have to do this alone anymore." As Andrew helped the three of them gather their few belongings and load them into his car, Clara felt a glimmer of hope, something she hadn't felt in a very long time. At Andrew's spacious and welcoming home, Clara and her daughters began to experience a sense of stability they hadn't felt in months. Andrew prepared a comfortable room for them, complete with warm blankets, clean clothes, and hearty meals. For the first time since losing their home, Mia and Ella slept in real beds. In the early days, Clara felt out of place and awkward. She wasn't used to accepting help, especially from an old friend like Andrew. But Andrew offered more than just a roof over their heads. He patiently listened and encouraged Clara to open up about her struggles. One evening, as the girls played in the living room, Andrew sat down next to Clara. "Clara, I know you've been through a lot, but have you ever thought about what you really want to do?" Clara gave a wistful smile. "What I want? I don't even know where to start anymore." Andrew smiled back, his eyes full of encouragement. "I remember back in high school you had a real passion for interior design. I can still recall the projects you did in art class. Have you ever thought about picking that up again?" Clara hesitated. The thought of going back to learning felt daunting. "I don't think I have what it takes anymore, Andrew. It's been too long." But Andrew didn't give up. He helped Clara research online courses in interior design and even covered the tuition fees for her. Initially, Clara was nervous and unsure of herself, but with Andrew's persistent encouragement, she started taking small steps. During her classes, Clara quickly realized that her creativity was still very much alive. Her assignments impressed her instructors and classmates alike, and she gradually regained her confidence. Over time, Clara not only relearned valuable skills but also rediscovered a passion she thought she had lost. Andrew was always there to support her, whether it was watching the kids or helping her brainstorm ideas. Clara began to see herself not just as a struggling single mother, but as a capable woman building a better future for herself and her children. As Clara was gradually rebuilding her life, a part of her past she had tried to forget resurfaced: her ex-husband, Matt Harper. Clara knew she had to confront him, not for her own sake, but for Mia and Ella. Clara reached out to Matt, hoping he would take responsibility as a father and at least provide financial support for their daughters. But when they met, her hope quickly turned into disappointment. Matt, now living a luxurious life, showed no remorse or concern. "I have nothing to do with your life anymore, Clara. Whatever happened is your fault. Take care of it yourself," he said coldly. Clara felt a pang in her heart. She had thought that, at the very least, Matt might change for the sake of his children, but he remained as selfish as ever. When Clara returned home, she was disheartened but not defeated. Andrew was there, as always, ready to listen and support her. "Clara, you don't need Matt's approval or support to succeed. Look at all the amazing things you've accomplished in such a short time. You're not just an incredible mother, you're a strong, capable woman," Andrew said, his voice filled with sincerity. Andrew's words made Clara realize that she didn't need to cling to the past anymore. Matt no longer held any power over her life. Instead, she resolved to focus all her energy on creating a brighter future for Mia and Ella. That day, Clara learned an invaluable lesson. Sometimes, to move forward, you have to let go of what no longer matters. One quiet evening, as Clara was tidying up the kitchen after dinner, Mia and Ella walked in, their eyes sparkling with something they wanted to share. Clara wiped her hands, sat down at the table, and motioned for her daughters to join her. "Mom, we want to tell you something," Mia said, her voice soft but serious. Clara smiled warmly, watching Mia and Ella sit down beside her. "What is it, girls? I'm listening." Ella hesitated for a moment before speaking. "We don't think we need someone like Matt to be our dad anymore. He never cared about us." Clara sighed quietly. Those words, though heartbreaking, were a truth she knew they couldn't ignore. Mia added firmly, "But Mom, Uncle Andrew is so kind to us. He listens when we talk, plays games with us, and helps us when we're stuck. He makes us feel safe, like he really cares about us. I don't know if he's like a dad, but maybe he could be one someday." Ella nodded, her eyes glistening. "Uncle Andrew does all the things I think a dad would do. He always asks if we're okay, tells funny stories, and hugs us so warmly. With him around, I don't feel like we need Matt anymore." Clara sat silently for a moment, tears welling up in her eyes. She realized that although Andrew never tried to replace Matt, his genuine care and affection had filled the void in Mia and Ella's hearts. Taking their hands, Clara whispered, "I'm so happy you feel Uncle Andrew's love. He truly cares about you, and that means more to me than anything." Ella smiled softly, her eyes bright. "Uncle Andrew is special, Mom. I think if we could choose a dad, we'd choose him." Clara pulled her daughters into a tight embrace, her heart overflowing with gratitude and hope. As time passed, Clara and Andrew grew closer. Andrew was no longer just the person who had helped her during tough times. He had become an integral part of her and her daughters' lives. Andrew spent countless hours with Mia and Ella, from helping Mia with her homework to reading bedtime stories to Ella. The two girls, who had never experienced the love of a real father, quickly bonded with Andrew and began to see him as a father figure. Clara watched all of this with a heart full of emotions. She knew Andrew wasn't doing these things out of obligation or pity. The love and patience he showed her daughters were genuine and heartfelt. Still, Clara couldn't help but feel apprehensive. The scars from her past made her hesitant to open up completely. She wondered if she deserved this newfound happiness and whether she could trust another man with her heart. One evening, as Clara and her daughters played in the yard, Andrew approached her. "Clara, I don't just want to help you and the girls get back on your feet. I want to be a part of your lives forever," he said, his voice full of sincerity. Clara felt a lump rise in her throat. "Andrew, I don't know if I can move past this fear. I'm scared that if I let this get too close, it'll all slip away again." Andrew gently took Clara's hand. "I understand that you're afraid. But Clara, sometimes, to move forward, you have to take a leap of faith. And I promise, I won't let you or the girls get hurt again." Andrew's words brought Clara a sense of peace. Slowly but surely, she learned to trust and accept the love that Andrew brought into her life. Not just for her, but for Mia and Ella too. A few months later, Clara felt her life transforming in ways she had never dared to dream. With Andrew's unwavering support, she had completed her interior design course and started taking on small projects from friends and acquaintances. Clara not only felt proud of the work she was doing, but also saw that she had finally created a path for lasting stability for Mia and Ella. One evening, Andrew hosted a small party at his home to celebrate Clara's first major accomplishment, completing a design project for a local coffee shop. Close friends and a few new clients came to congratulate her. Clara felt surrounded by love and support, something she had missed for so long. After the party, Andrew surprised Clara by kneeling in front of her with a sparkling ring in his hand. "Clara, you and the girls have changed my life. You're not just the person I admired in high school. You're the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Will you marry me?" Clara looked at Andrew with tears in her eyes. She thought about everything she had endured, from being homeless and heartbroken to this moment where a hopeful future was within reach. "Yes, Andrew, I will," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Their wedding was simple yet filled with warmth, attended by close friends and family. Mia and Ella were overjoyed to wear beautiful bridesmaid dresses, and Andrew officially adopted both girls, becoming the father they had always dreamed of. Together, Clara, Andrew, Mia, and Ella began a new chapter of their lives. Love, patience, and trust had carried them through the hardest times and helped them build a family full of joy and happiness. After the wedding, the bond between Andrew and Clara's daughters, Mia and Ella, blossomed into something truly special. From morning routines filled with laughter to bedtime stories that sparked their imaginations, Andrew became more than just a caring presence. He became the hero they had always longed for. At first, the girls were a little shy, but Andrew's patience and unconditional love quickly made them feel safe and cherished. Before long, Mia and Ella started calling Andrew Dada, a word they had never used before. The first time Mia hesitantly called him that, Andrew was so moved he could barely speak. He knelt down, hugged the two girls tightly, and promised them that he would always be there for them, ensuring they would never feel alone or unloved again. From that moment on, Mia and Ella saw Andrew as someone they could fully trust. Whenever they had something exciting or troubling to share, they would go to Andrew first. Mia loved showing him her schoolwork and telling him about the good grades she earned, while Ella often whispered little secrets to him that she wasn't ready to tell anyone else. One evening, Mia walked into the living room holding a drawing she had made of their family. In the picture, Mia, Ella, Clara, and Andrew were standing hand in hand under a bright, shining sun. "I drew you too, Dad," Mia said, pointing at Andrew's figure in the drawing. "You're the one who makes us happy." Andrew couldn't hold back his tears. Mia's words were the clearest testament to the love and trust he had built with the family. Their small family now lived in a warm, cozy home that Andrew had personally redesigned, with input from Clara. Every corner of the house reflected their love and unity. From Mia and Ella's hand-drawn artwork on the walls to the garden where they often spent time planting flowers and vegetables together. Clara continued to grow her interior design career. Her creativity and determination made her a sought-after designer in the area. Andrew, despite running his successful business, always made time to support his wife, whether it was encouraging her professionally or taking care of the girls at home. Mia and Ella now had not just a safe place to call home, but also a father they adored. The two grew closer to Andrew each day, seeing him as their hero. Laughter and joy filled their home, a testament to the love and happiness the family had built together. Clara and Andrew's journey is a powerful reminder of how resilience, love, and kindness can transform lives. Clara's story begins in despair, but blossoms into a testament to the human spirit's ability to rebuild and thrive. She went from being a single mother left with nothing to becoming a confident woman with a flourishing career, all while rediscovering the power of trust and connection. It was through Andrew's unwavering patience and genuine compassion that Clara and her daughters found not only stability, but a sense of belonging they had been missing for so long. There's something profoundly moving about moments like when Mia and Ella first called Andrew Dad, It wasn't just a word, it was a declaration, a heartfelt acknowledgement of the love and security he had given them. In that moment, Andrew wasn't just stepping into a role. He was proving that family isn't about shared blood, but about shared love, care, and commitment. Those moments remind us of the incredible potential of second chances, not just for one person, but for everyone they touch. Clara's journey is also a reflection of how, even in the darkest times, kindness can light the way forward. Andrew didn't just offer her a place to stay, he offered her the belief that she was capable of so much more. And Clara didn't just accept his help, she found the courage to fight for her future, to rediscover the passions she had long buried, and to show her daughters what it means to rise above adversity. Together they built something far more meaningful than a stable home. They built a family filled with love, laughter, and mutual respect. This story teaches us that no matter how overwhelming life's challenges may seem, it's never too late to start again. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can ripple outwards and transform lives in unimaginable ways. Clara and Andrew's story also reminds us that love isn't just something we feel, it's something we do. It's in the sacrifices we make, the patience we show, and the support we offer without expecting anything in return. Now, as you reflect on Clara's story, ask yourself, what part of their journey inspired you the most? Have you ever witnessed or experienced a second chance that changed someone's life? Stories like this are meant to remind us of what's possible, but they also inspire us to take action. If Clara's story touched your heart, consider sharing it with someone who might need a little hope today. You never know how much of a difference your kindness can make in someone's life. Together, we can create a ripple effect, spreading messages of hope, love, and the incredible power of second chances to the people who need them most.